Well, good morning, design peeps. We are now live with Dezign Talk. We've been building the hype for this one, so looking forward to everybody joining in. This could get pretty fun and pretty interesting. So, um, just to frame this for everybody, this is a live call-in broadcast, so feel free to hit the bottom of your screen. There's a little camera icon. Click the icon and feel free to call in. Let me frame this one real quick, and I'll frame it throughout the broadcast so that we're all on the same page and we're all in tune with this. So, Design Talk. Um, the topic is let's cut the bullshit. We're all adults here. Facebook is not restricted by the FCC, so we can have free talk. Let's add some flavorful talk. Let's hear some opinions. Let's hear some feedback. Let's hear some victories, some failures, and let's cut the BS on this. We listen to too many podcasts and too much panels and all this stuff where people make this whole thing so fluffy. While in reality, we're business owners back at home. Am I sideways? Okay, I'm going to have to flip that this way. Bear with me. I thought I had all this figured out. I might have to... Jill, we got sideways side streets, huh? Well, there goes all my staging for this thing. I'm going to have to do this a little bit differently then. Killing the live feed. How are we going to do that? Stay. Where's my duct tape? Yay, Facebook Live. Okay. I might just have to selfie this one. All right, so we're killing it on the first live feed. Hopefully I have these here. No, did I put them away? So anyhow, let me just prop this here. Well, so let me, as I'm juggling the camera around, stage this. So Design Talk, what we're talking about is, and we might just be with a crooked camera. We're just going to have a fucking crooked camera. So, now that we've got a crooked camera, Design Talk, the topic is let's cut the bullshit. This is a call-in show, so at the bottom of your screen is a little camera icon. Feel free to join in the call. And this is the way that I envision this. This is the beginning of a long conversation. This is an ongoing conversation with the design industry. We attend events, we watch panels, we have all these different conversations going on. We're listening to people tell us how they're doing it so easily, and yet we go back home. We've got our businesses to run, and it just man, it's not as easy as these panels make it look. So this is real conversation. Hold. This is real conversations. People are trying to find out where the live feed is from. So if you can, if you guys also do me the favor of hitting share, this will help all those people that are trying to find the live feed find it easier. So just go ahead and hit the share button, and that way we can get this in front of more people. And feel free to hit the little camera icon and call in. This isn't me talking and you guys listening. This is you guys calling in, and you guys sharing your experiences. This is a call-in talk show, so feel free to call in. Again, kind of reframing this whole thing. We go to trade shows, we go watch panels and podcasts and this whole bit, and we hear the same kind of fluffy stuff each time. And in reality, we're sitting here on our end and we're trying to make payroll. We're trying to serve our clients, and these are things that they didn't necessarily teach us in school. And so this is a forum for us to have a conversation and talk and share. I see this as an ongoing conversation where this week the topic is let's cut the bullshit. So let's talk openly and honestly about the business of design. Let's share with each other your victories, some of your setbacks, and voice some of those frustrations. This is I've been in the commercial lighting, hospitality lighting business for coming up on 18 years, and as an industry, we're very isolated. And we were very much an industry, and there was this fear of not sharing because you didn't want other people to copy you. Well, in the last couple of years, the design industry has shifted to a community, and we're now listening to each other more. We've got Rod calling in, so let's add him in. Rod in, and I'll have him do a little quick intro about who he is and what he does, and then we'll pick up the conversation. Hey, Rod, how's it going, man?
Good morning, buddy. I just wanted to just weigh in. I'm on my way to a meeting, so I don't know how long I can stay on this morning. But here's some bullshit for you.
There you go.
First of all, good morning. Do you have your coffee? You look like you need it as much as I do.
I
Cheers.
do have my coffee.
Okay. Something about a cup of Joe with Joe in the morning. But
yeah,
listen,
right?
Here's a little bit of bullshit. We're working on a project. There's a big ass mural on the wall, and I mean a big ass mural because it's the guy who was the previous program director's big ass on a paddleboard in the middle of the ocean where there's no land masses anywhere, and it looks like you're expecting a fin of a shark to just show up in the water. And that was in the fitness club, right? Big ass wall. I'm like talking huge, like 10, 11 feet high by God knows how wide. So this was a big wide ass, and we basically changed it to a bunch of people in a yoga position about human size scale on the beach, okay? And so yesterday I walk in and I get a complaint, half jokingly complaint, but it was genuinely something that was said by a client who was a member that walked into that space in the morning and went back and complained that she couldn't work out anymore in there because the energy of the yoga and the energy of the ocean were in conflict with one another, and that she basically had joined because of the picture of the guy's ass on the wall. So, okay. So there's a little bullshit for you, right? That and the lesson to be learned there is you can't please everybody.
No. And for those who are watching, because we got like 27 people on, and people are joining on, and Shelly's cracking up. Rod is a commercial designer, designs hospitality, spas, restaurants. Could you give a little background about you, Rod?
Yeah, I've been doing this since '94 in one capacity or the other. Worked for Hirsch Bedner, WAT&G for about a good old decade, maybe combined. then went out on my own. I've been doing it on my own since 2003. And we do spas, wellness centers, retail, restaurants, and we do residential. Primarily, we deal with it as a business consultancy. We are repositioning, renewing, reactivating spaces that are underserving. So we go into properties that may be looking to have a renovation on something, or it's a ground up new construction. Right now, we're involved in everything from a remodel at the Monarch Beach, which used to be the St. Regis in Dana Point, for areas that they did not catch in their major remodel when they changed brands. And we're doing a ground up assisted living, 80,000 square feet, 122 beds in Stanton. So we do the whole range of stuff. We've got clients that are 1,000 square feet. We got clients that are 80,000, and it's just fun. And it hit me yesterday that this is one of the things that we do is we convince ourselves somewhere along the way that we got to be, because we're such, I think, touchy-feely, caring people as designers, expressing ourselves, very core part of ourselves creatively. There's a sensitivity and vulnerability involved, and we feel like we want to make everybody happy. And there are times when you just can't make everybody happy, and we're an ass on a wall, basically, right? Being gone gets you an asshole of a comment. I'm sorry, you said cut the bullshit, so here it is. It's
There's no
unfiltered.
FCC on Facebook.
No FCC regulations this morning. So
Yeah.
anyway, I just want to weigh in and just remind everybody that in the course of doing what we do, sometimes we forget that it's okay. There's going to be sometimes people that are not going to appreciate what we're doing, and that we need to be a little bit more protective, I think, of our vulnerability as creative expressionists, if you will, and make sure that the people that we are focused on making sure they're happy or at least they're satisfied with our work, that those are the people that count, given our obligations and commitments per contract, proposal, whatever it is. And there's going to be some times when people that are flippant, because here's the thing, right? If you ask somebody about what their opinion is, like, hey, Joe, what's your opinion
Sometimes
on...
you're going to get it.
No. You're always going to get it. It's not if sometimes. That's my point. Is when was the last time somebody asked you, hey,
So
Joe,
I think Rod's
what's your
screen
opinion?
froze up there. There we go. Okay, so I think we lost Rod there. My screen froze up. Let's add him in again. So let me pick up where Rod was kind of leaving off. Hey Rod, kind of froze up there.
Right. So just really quick,
So-
okay? When was the last time somebody asked you, hey, Joe, what's your opinion on, I don't know, frittatas? Okay? What's your opinion on the fact that there's pebbles on the beach, right? Not ever does somebody say to somebody, what's your opinion? And that person isn't going to give you an opinion because they feel obligated they're going to do that. Sometimes they'll do it without you even asking. And you know what they say about opinions, right? They're like, right? Except, no, I'll tell you, they're like, it's worse. It's worse. It's like elbows. Everybody's got two of them. Okay? So we just have to be conscientious of the fact that we're not going to be pleasing everybody, and there's going to be some bullshit that comes our way. And if we believe in what we are doing and that we are servicing or serving the client's interest, then we need to make sure that we don't take these things personally, which is hard because we are giving of ourselves.
And let me add to that. So Rod is a commercial designer, and so you think for the residential designers and the stagers and the other people that are listening, you might think, well, residential's hard and commercial somehow easier. You're not. Rod, when he designs for commercial, he designs profit centers. So that person who came in because there was a picture of a giant ass in a yoga studio, um, Rod's designing for that company to make money. He's creating profit centers. On the residential level, you're building a person's dream. Um, in either case, it requires a designer. And a designer, I was just having this conversation the other day. A designer is 100% a creative person, 100% a business person, 100% a marketer, 100% a marriage counselor or counselor, 100% trying to juggle this whole thing. And if you can imagine trying to run your interior design business or your commercial design business, uh, only at only uh, with only 20% of that, you just can't do it. And that's a lot of 100%. You guys really have to be on all the time. In this case, Rod had one crazy customer, uh, you know, kind of muck up the whole thing. Rod's off. If anybody wants to call in, what we're talking about today is let's cut the bullshit. This is an ongoing conversation with the design community. We're going from a design industry to a design community. And if we're going to this design community idea, then let's have some conversation, some open conversation about our industry, about how we want to shape this community. So we did this last week, and it kind of hit really well. People were calling in. Man, the phone calls afterwards was crazy. So call in. There's a little icon on the bottom of your screen. It should look like a camera. You can add people in, and you guys can call in. So this is a call-in talk show. We'll run it for an hour, and this week I really do have to do an hour because I've got a live with Dixie and Rachel from Design and Style scheduled at 9:30. So we got to kind of be on this one. I did a bad job of running way over last time. But this is Facebook Live. There's no FCC. We are adults in business. So let's cut the bullshit. This is no fluffy stuff. We got Kim calling in. Let me add her in. So yeah, call in, be active. Don't stand on the sideline. Let's hear your victories. Let's hear. Hey Kim, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing today, Joseph?
Good. I'm so glad you called in.
I wouldn't miss the opportunity.
Well, if you could, for the audience's benefit, could you tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and then what inspired you to call?
Okay. So sure. My name is Kim Barthelmess. I have been in the industry for over 25 years. Spent the majority of my career in the commercial industry, doing a lot of law offices, hospitals, corporate offices, things such as that. And then most recently, I was working in Dubai about for the last 10 years on crazy big projects. So now I am on my own and I'm working on both residential and corporate projects, but certainly smaller in scale. So that's it. I honestly don't have a big BS story. There is no way I can even compete with that big ass mural discussion. But just wanted to call in and say hi. Thank you for what you're doing, and just kind of chit chat. So I don't have a big BS thing. Sorry.
No, no, no. As far as BS goes, it doesn't have to always be a complaint. Like, so you gotta work in Dubai. How awesome is that? Um, and then what would you say is some of the differences in the within our industry, the cultural differences between um, designing in Dubai and designing in other countries versus designing here?
Entirely different, I would have to say. Gosh, I should have been more prepared to speak about this. Um, I
It's
mean,
a
just
live call-in, so no, not at all.
I just don't want to say anything that's not appropriate. It's entirely different.
Appropriate? Did you just say appropriate?
I
Didn't
did.
you catch the title? Did you
I
catch the last one? Fuck the trans, cut the bullshit. Let's go with appropriate.
Cutting the bullshit might be harder for me than actually going live on video these days. But anyway, just really quickly, working in Dubai is an entirely different. It's an entirely different culture. And I think you worked in Dubai, didn't you,
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
projects?
Yep.
So um, Dubai is not what I would call the traditional Middle East that we might all think of. It's a very westernized society, at least within the circle that I was working in. Um, so that certainly helped, but nonetheless, it is an entirely different culture. I mean, you have to learn to work on, different time schedules. One time my client was in Bangkok, the project was in Dubai, the lighting designer was in Paris, and part of our team was also in San Francisco. So just trying to juggle something as simple as having a meeting is kind
Yeah.
of challenging, but you just work it out. So, uh,
I've done that one.
yeah,
I've been in Australia and then had to jump over to Hong Kong to go hopefully avert two more containers of broken glass showing up to the job site. And then you
right.
get back to your hotel room. You're ready to, good God, that was a long day, and up, America's awake.
That's exactly.
And in America, we I don't know. I've seen all this, made in America, and we need a source here in America. We pretty much do. Working in other countries,
Yeah,
no, they're way more advanced in sourcing from all over the place. Logistic nightmare. Um,
right,
Here in America, we're so freaking spoiled, and yet we bitch like crazy. And
you
we
know
have
what?
our own complications, but man.
Right, exactly. But and as you know, the projects over there tend to be much larger. I mean, they're huge. I shouldn't even say large. They're huge, which always adds a certain fun and challenging aspect all at the same time.
Yeah. Oh
So,
no, over the top. It's crazy, crazy over the top. Dubai
yeah,
was an experience. Australia was nice.
right.
The Philippines was, wow, just just total different experiences. America is just so consistent. Uh,
We don't, I love
Knocked out my
America.
own
I
headphone.
don't want to complain about it. I absolutely love my country and am
Yeah.
happy to be here. But it's nice to see some of my friends jumping on there. I see Yasa's on there and Beth and Greg. Um, so it's kind of cool.
And I'll do a
Um,
quick little plug. Hey, people, if you guys would like to call in, the kind of framing this whole thing, it's just us as a community having a conversation. So this is just a conversation about our industry. This isn't your typical staged, panel discussion, this whole thing. This is us as a community talking. And so that's what is kind of making this thing different. And make sure to hit the share button and join in. Well, Kim, I think we've got another caller coming in. Um,
good.
thank
Gonna,
No, thank you so much for calling in. Please feel free to hit share and then comment. And yeah, we've got a bunch of people. Oh, I think we just lost that person. If you want, call back in and hit the little share button. People, you can hit the little camera icon at the bottom of your screen, and then you can join in on the conversation. Um, and then hit share so we can share this with other people too. Kim, thank you so much for calling in. I don't know if I've got to or you've got to. Last time people were even having to exit the live and then come back in again. Um, for everybody watching, we've got 29 live viewers on. We've got Celeste calling in. Kim, I'm going to try to bring on Celeste, okay? Have a good one. Feel free to comment and share. Thank you. let's see. Celeste. Kim, you might have to exit and then come back. Oops. I don't know how to get. There we go. Okay, we're adding Celeste Alexander. Again, feel free to hit the share button, and you can call in by hitting the camera icon. Hey, Celeste.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I got two things to say.
Yes.
The good thing is, I've been in the industry for over 25 years, and since social media tricks and secrets of the industry, and one of the things that pisses me off, it pisses me off, that these magazine editors, they are such gatekeepers to showing us and telling us what is acceptable design, what is beautiful design, and what they feel we should, follow their trends or their lead. I was at a little event, and I asked one of the magazine editors, how come they never show us nothing funky? Something avant-garde, or everything is bullshit, red, white, and blue, apple pie, country, you have to, and then we're in the South, so part of my issue is what we create as African American people may not be up to their level of beauty, and I say that it's time for somebody who has some money to come out with a magazine that shows all kind of industrial design, whether it's contemporary. Nowadays, no one's covering the glam aspect of design, but that industry is booming. I saw so many glam products down in High Point, and I think that this trend is not going away with the Generation X and some of the younger millennials. They love it, but I see so many editors who get to pick and choose what they say is beautiful, and a lot of that to me seems like personal preference.
Well, I'll jump in on there and say that I've met a bunch of so at the events they'll do the trend spotters, and they'll have design people, and they'll pick some design people and some podcasters, but when you get to the magazines and you meet the people that are creating the trend spotting, I've met people that aren't even from the industry. They're
Right.
writers. I've met people that, honestly, not to call anybody out on this one, but I've met people that you're like, so did you just get done
You
knitting
said
a
cut
sweater?
the BS. Now you don't want to call them out.
Oh no, I'll say
What's
it.
up
I'll
with
say
that?
it. They got my grandma writing reviews and creating
It's time
the
for them to
trend.
retire. It's
Yeah.
time for some of them gatekeepers to retire, put on a new set of glasses, new lenses, so that you can see, what's really happening out there. It's no longer the Prince of Chintz look.
Yeah.
It's not that stuffy look.
Well,
Though those people that have money and they're considered the top tier of design, there's so many funky, unusual spaces that may not be in that top tier of the money level, or even using the brands that are considered the high-end brands, but yet it's good design, it's inspiration. I haven't bought a magazine in the last 5 years that has inspired me.
yeah.
Okay, we know people get inspiration. Travel inspires me.
Yeah, and not to plug Design Wall, but that's what I built Design Wall for. Look, as a designer, you don't want just the people that could afford to be at High Point. Those are awesome, and more power to them. But you want the local artist. You want the custom person that can't be at High Point. That makes no sense for them to be at High Point. But you want to find them too. You want to paint with a full palette.
When I look at you, you don't look like the cut, well-groomed designer, but I'm like, I bet you
not well-groomed.
I love it, I bet you do some really awesome, funky things. And I mean, I just wish someone would come out with a magazine that's just about the real designers who are designing out of their mind. And I'm so over these people who are cookie cutter, copying every page just to be acceptable by the magazine industry. We've lost a lot of people to that stereotype where if you don't do what they like, then you can't design. Well, I'm out the box. I've been out the box all my life. I've been in this industry over 25 years, and thank God for social media, because I run a group called Diversity in Design Alliance, and it's basically for African American people or people of different cultures who have issues that we don't discuss openly in the design community. I don't want to start nothing today, but I'll jump back on at another day. But I have over 400 people in that group, and it's just for designers. It's a specialty group because, of course, we face challenges and problems that the mainstream designers don't do. And Lisa says, Celeste, why don't you start your own magazine? Why don't you support that magazine and help me with that magazine? I'd be glad to get a team together.
Let's get it started with, it's free to create, we have industry articles on Design Wall. So you can, oh man, my phone's heating up. Start posting articles and let's get the flow going. I think that what's going to come from this conversation is we start telling the industry what we want.
Exactly.
The industry's been telling us what we should be selling our customers. Let's give a voice to the industry and say, hey, industry, this is what we want. We've been going to your trade shows, we've been going to your stuff, and we've been hearing you guys push product on us. But you know what? What do we want to paint with? What do we want to do? You conform to
design has a new face. There's a new face to interior design. Those old school people need to step aside and let the young hipsters in.
We're the creative group. We're the ones that test the boundaries. We're the ones that push our customers to explore and step beyond their comfort zones. Otherwise, hell, they would have done it themselves. So if we don't do as a design service, if we don't help our customers expand, then we're not really the creatives that we say we are.
Right. And my community is up and coming in the design industry. As you know, we've kind of been behind as a people in the US of A. So it's very difficult for some of us African American interior designers when we don't get a platform or recognition for even a small thing. We have a few champions, but maybe their style doesn't represent what the masses really want. So I think that they need to spread the love around. And I got a list from Amy Fleury of over 100 editors. She has a list out there. So I'm putting some things together to send to them to let them know that we are here. We want to be recognized. We want to give our opinions. Maybe we don't do the styles that you like, but can we get recognition for good design? And I'm going to let y'all have your coffee because I'm headed out the door. Well, Thank you so much. I love this platform. Yay!
We're going to be doing this weekly. So this is an ongoing conversation. So let's keep the conversation going.
Thank you, Joe.
Definitely. Thank you so much for calling in. Thanks for dealing with all the hiccups. Feel free to call in. We've got 2 people waiting. The topic is let's cut the bullshit. This is not radio. This is adult in the design industry. We are business owners. Let's have some open conversation about the industry. Let's add Alicia Turner. Let's see if she's still on. Alicia, I'm inviting you in. Again, hit share. Let other people know. Dixie and Rachel will tell you, I always say sharing's caring. Hey, Alicia.
Hi.
How's it going?
Can you hear me? It's great.
Yeah,
how are you?
Good. My phone's like burning up. Apparently, I need like a little miniature air conditioner on my phone.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about you, and then share?
Yeah. So I am, sometimes I feel a little bit like counterculture to the design world. So my background in formal education is in higher ed. And I taught intro to college for 3 years. I was an advisor and a data strategist, and have a whole like life in higher ed. And then mom life came along and I said, okay, commuting is for the birds. I'm missing important things. So I started my design business online. I only do e-design consulting, like personal shopping, because I wanted to stay home. And I flipped 2 of my own homes and then took that into kind of launching my own brand. So that's where I am now. We're going on to year 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the best adventure, owning and designing your own business.
Making the transition is crazy hard and scary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's I've done it. Scary as shit.
Yep.
Not for the faint of heart. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
so then,
thank you.
What inspired you to call?
So I think 2 things. One is, I guess, thanks for giving us a place to commiserate in like the business of building a business, because it's hard. And like, I feel like I've spent 2 years learning about marketing and website building and branding packages.
Bullshit. And when you talk to like family members, they're like, right over their head.
Oh yeah. And
this is
like,
such an alone thing to do.
Yes, and try doing it with a newborn, or don't try doing it with a newborn.
Don't. You have to be insane. That's crazy.
So yes, part of that is like, going on year 2 now. I finally feel like, I can tell you what I sell, and I can tell you what I can do and what I can't do. I'm not going to design your bathroom for you online. We're just not going to do that. If I was in the space, I could do it, but it is not worth. Like, being able to say what you don't do is so important.
Yeah.
I love designing bathrooms. I've done it in my own home. I am not doing it over email. Like, just say what you don't do and stop trying to like be everything just because you could or because it's fun.
I was just on a panel and we were talking about emerging technologies, and as much as I love I've got friends that are the owners of e-design companies. Some of the big ones that we all know about. And these are people that are designers who were trying to solve the problem of those peaks and valleys. We all go through them, and e-design was an attempt to fix that. And as with anything, we're going to have some successes come out of this, and we're going to have some failed ideas. Personally, I think e-design's a tough one. I think it doesn't really solve the problem like it was intended. So you're talking about designing that remote part. You're a creative artist, and you've got to know your client. And you've got to be able to throw some stuff by them.
You've got to know your client. And so for me, my clients are busy working moms who don't have time to go to Target. So I do their shopping for them. We figure out a style, we get focused, I give them a plan, and I give them a shopping list, because they can't. They just don't. They don't have time. Figuring out what you do and what you do well, like do that, and stop trying to like, if you don't want to shop it.
To build these different platforms. I know that right now that probably pissed off a bunch of designers who are like, well, you're just a shopper and I'm a designer. Cool.
My clients won't hire you.
Totally different client. So cool, but we're all trying to understand this right now. And so I've heard such heated arguments about designer versus decorator, as though they have to be the same and they're just defined differently. Screw that. They are two different services.
Yeah.
We can be different and serve our clients differently.
Yep. And so that's been a big part for me, is just trying to say who I am and find my people. And now that I can say it and I know who they are, it's like, okay, now we're going to hit the ground running. Like,
but don't you feel a little bit weird when you go to, I ran into when I got to High Point, I got off the plane, I'm waiting for my Uber, And there's this lady sitting there, and I was like, oh, are you going to market? And she's like, oh, yeah, but I'm just a stager. And I was like, what? You're a motherfucking stager.
What? So,
what the hell? No, don't say just.
This is where I'm like, okay, I have 6 years of higher education. I have a master's degree. I left a career and I started a new career. Don't tell me that I'm not something or I'm just something, because I'm all those things. And I'm a mom and I'm a homeowner and I'm all these things. So yeah, just stop putting people down because they don't have letters behind their name.
But
I have letters behind their name. They're just different.
It's even people holding themselves down. Don't hold yourself down.
Oh yeah, don't let them get you down.
Be you. And then this right here, this whole call-in thing is hopefully an ongoing conversation where screw it, let's get along, you know.
Yeah. I will say one thing and this is in the online business building world, right? So I've been doing this for 2 years, building a brand, building a website, identifying services and client processes and all this. I have experienced designers saying, everything you do looks so good. How are you so visible online? And people make assumptions about my business because of how it looks online. And so I'm always happy to call and chat with people about it because I'm fairly comfortable with the
people make
tech,
assumptions about me too.
Yeah, they do.
Smoke and mirrors.
So, right. So like there was like a cartoon about like how video chat lets everybody see like this much of your perfectly designed home, and then like, oh, but I didn't do the dishes. I'm just not going to show you.
Yeah.
But what I would say
Let's put this in a good frame here.
There you go. Yeah, fix your lighting. My clients are busy moms, so they don't care if I don't have makeup on. Know your people and look the way that your people get you, right? If my clients were super corporate professional, I need to do my hair. And my kids can't be crying on my lap in my live videos. But I work with busy moms and they like that, so it's okay. The other thing is get headshots. Spend $100, get a 30-minute mini session, dress in your brand colors, and get the fucking headshots. Just do it. Because then it won't matter if you don't have a graphic to put online. You put your pretty headshot online and you put a little subtitle on it, and people think you have a graphic designer on your team.
Yeah.
But you just have some really good pictures. So the best $100 I ever spent was headshots.
And tell your story. So look, I can find another you somewhere else, unless you tell me your story. What makes you different? Why do we know that Mercedes is German engineering? They told us the story a long time ago. Now they don't even need to tell us that again. So as designers at all levels, tell your story. Share who you are. I can tell you, I can find this thing everywhere and tell you the cool color all the time. And you can too, and 900,000 other people can too.
Right.
Why does it matter to me? Because if I tell you why it matters to me and why it's important to me, then now it's me. And now you're buying into me. And now you can either like me or not. But the people that like me will pay. The people that don't, I didn't want them anyhow. And in business,
and when people don't like you, it's okay because you're narrowing your message, right? So if people are turned off by the way you look or whatever, just make sure you're communicating your brand story, and people will make assumptions. I have clients that assume I've been doing this for years because I spent a lot of time figuring out a lot of those moving parts, and I look the way I want them to know me, and then just show up. Just keep being you in your business, and the right people will find you.
Yep, build your brand. I will throw a little plug. This is a call-in talk show, so feel free to hit the little camera icon. Were you able to find it pretty easily?
Yeah, it's right at the bottom of the screen next to the little heart and and laughing emojis. Okay,
so if you guys are watching, click on the little camera icon. You can only do it from your cell phone. It doesn't work from your desktop or your tablet. I don't know if it works from tablet, but it doesn't work from your laptop and desktop. But feel free to call in. The topic is, and this is kind of the first in an open conversation. So I've been a bunch of podcasters and magazine writers. They've called me in the last week, and they're like, Joe, what's what are the topics you're going to talk about? What's the schedule for the next? And I was like, we have none. I'm not the best planner in the world. There's no topic for next week. I figure what comes from this, we'll pick up the conversation next week.
Cool.
This is an
Natasha
open, ongoing conversation.
Natasha did just say, can we talk more about e-design?
Sure.
I can tell you quickly what I do in my online business, but then I'll hop off and let other people chat about e-design too. I manage everything on Google Sheets. So there's like an ongoing private document where I it's all formatted in my client template, and we fill it in as we go. So everyone has a live view of the project. I'm not big enough yet to use something like Mydoma or, one of those other paid platforms. My e-design.
I'll get a hold of Sarah for you, and we'll see about a discount.
Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, no, we've chatted in Design and Style.
Sarah's awesome. We'll see about getting you on Mydoma. That affordability shouldn't be an issue.
My the thing with e-design is that I think it depends on how you run it. If you're going to run it like a full service design firm, then I think your technology and your software packages that you're using probably have to step up to that level. For me, it's more about taking the dimensions of my client's space. So I teach my clients how to take dimensions of their room, right? And then I can work on my end to say like, okay, this is the scale of sofa, or this is, when you arrange your furniture, let's do it like this. I work in a consulting capacity, so we go back and forth.
Shelly's asking what's your website. This is a good chance for you to plug.
It's alyssaturnercarnes.com. So it's my full name.
And then you might want to add it into your the comments when you get a chance, and that way people can connect with you.
Awesome.
If you don't
Edmund
mind,
did say Google Sheets. It's just like a Google Doc, but it's like PowerPoint on the Google platform.
Okay. We do have Natasha calling in.
Awesome.
And then I'll be on, and for everybody, here's a plug for Design and Style. I'll be on right after this with Dixie and Rachel on Design and Style. So
Love it.
We'll be talking about Design Wall. I don't typically talk about Design Wall, but apparently I should do better at that.
Do it. All right. Thanks so much. I'll stick around
definitely.
for comments to chat with you.
Add your website and reach out, PM me. I'll hook you up with Sarah.
All right. Awesome. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you so much. All right, Natasha, I'll be adding you in right here. And invite. So again, framing this for everybody, this is a Facebook Live feed program. You can join in the call. This is an ongoing conversation about the design industry as a community. Call in. We want to hear your victories, your frustrations, the things that piss you off, the things that inspire you to be passionate. We are a creative industry. We're becoming more of a community. Let's start having community conversation. Hey, there you are.
Hey there, how are you?
Good. We were like getting each other all pumped up for this. So thank you, my new crazy pumped up friend.
I know. I'm trying not to see who's all popping on because it's like all friends and family and I don't want to get distracted. So I'll try. But I wanted to kind of keep the conversation about e-design going because I have two feelings about it. One being that I think it's awesome that we have something new in the industry that we can rely on and make some extra money. Some people can do it solely doing e-design, some can do a combination of both. But the big elephant in the room is the big companies that do e-design that are offering. I got approached by one, which I'm not going to name names, it doesn't matter. And they were offering $100 for a room design. Mm-hmm. And I got bills to pay, man. I cannot afford to design a room for $100. So I would love to hear your opinion and other people's opinions about that, and how can we as designers fight that, like we're being undersold and our creative minds are not being valued as high as they should be.
Well, and I'll add to that so I know celebrity designers that these companies have reached out to them, and they put them on saying, hey, we're gonna, and you'd be pretty surprised to know that celebrity designers need work too. So they bring them on, selling their celebrity, and then they lost leader them. They then go, oh, well, you could have that person, or you could save some money and you can pawn it off to somebody else. And I'll tell you, the celebrity designers don't necessarily like that either. They're just getting their name thrown around and used. In reality, they signed up because they want to do e-design too.
But I think they're getting paid for using their face for something like that.
Not necessarily the case. But there's a lot of assumptions in this industry. The problem with e-design that I find is that there's such small margin in it. So you're pandering to